welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to season 2 of the Love Gymnastics podcast, brought to you by the Love Gymnastics Network, brought to you by the creator of this, Michaela Loves Gymnastics, and her co-host, Oscar, aka Gymnastics Saves Lives, Miss Shayna, and Ezra. And together, we bring you the Loves Gymnastics podcast. Season 2 begins now. Thank you, everybody, for your patience. We love and appreciate you. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, bring more people into the community. It's NCAA 2025 time. Let's go, girls! And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Welcome back to my channel, Michaela Loves Gymnastics. And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Love Gymnastics podcast, brought to you by the Love Gymnastics Network. I am one of your hosts, Michaela Loves Gymnastics, and today, everybody, we are recapping, in my opinion, the best week of NCAA gymnastics thus far. This week has been everything. If y'all miss it, y'all elite fits, I'm telling y'all, watch this week of NCAA gymnastics. It did something for me. It made me hyped about this season just a little bit. We got some things to discuss. We have some well, before we get into the main meats and potatoes, I have some randomness I want to talk about first. So everybody, please indulge me just for 1 second when we get to that part of the show. I know today was a very trying time for some people. If you even paid it any attention, because I didn't pay nothing that happened today, no attention. Before we even get into that, I want to send prayers and love to everybody around the country. First and foremost, I want to send my prayers to the people of California, the people of the Los Angeles area, the people of the Palisades and the Altadena and Pasadena and all that other areas over there. Y'all really got messed up with these wildfires this year. Like, it's been crazy watching how many people lost homes, how many people lost everything. It's been real crazy to watch that. Part 2 is I'm sending my thoughts, prayers to everybody affected by Miss Winter Storm, Miss Blizzard in the South. I'm supposed to be waking up to snow in fucking Tallahassee, Florida. It does not snow in Tallahassee, Florida. So, yeah, we're dealing with that. So yeah, Oscar, how have you been?
Hi, Michaela.
Hi, friend.
Well, today is like a really
And your ultimate twinkness, yeah.
my ultimate twinkness. What makes me more twinky than any other day?
I don't know. You just look like
I'm in
ultimate twink right now.
My My Murakami Bob Paris 2024 outfit.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what you're noticing. Yeah, today it made me really sad. Ooh, we just lost Shayna. Maybe she got a phone call.
She'll be back. She'll be back. I know she just literally just walked in her house from work, so I know she'll be back.
I hope so.
There she go.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of, I mean, the premise of today, Trump being inaugurated, is already so tragic and disgusting and upsetting to me personally, and I know to a lot of other people. And I haven't paid it much attention either, but the things I have seen are just as messed up and gross, if not worse, than I would have predicted. I saw Elon Musk throwing like a Nazi salute at either the inauguration or one of there are a bunch of parties going on. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I didn't see none of that because I've been purposely avoiding all things Trump today.
And I think that's a personal decision, and I respect that for everyone to make their own decision.
I don't really care.
Exactly. So to each their own. Hi, Shayna.
We got 4 years of dealing with this nut job. Today, I'm going to celebrate Martin Luther King by sitting my ass out of it like Michelle Obama. Like, y'all can have that. Y'all tell me how that went.
Okay, look, that hair is herring. I like that. You're going to have to send that to me.
Oh, thank you.
Would you do an exchange, a hair exchange?
I definitely would.
I truly would. I'm looking for a good girlfriend to do something like that with.
That would be so fun.
I used to have some good girlfriends I used to do that with when I was younger.
Me too. Girl, we would send hair. We would do each other hair. We would do so much. Oh, how times have changed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was busy at work. I had to be to work for 7 a.m. this morning because I wanted to get the holiday pay. And I got off at 3. So, and I'm probably will be in the house for the next 2 days because they have a winter storm coming. And they're thinking we might be getting 5 to 8 inches of snow here in Louisiana. And our infrastructure is not equipped for that here in the South. So,
right,
people that get snow on a regular, oh, that ain't nothing. That's a lot for us.
We got hit with 4 inches or 5 inches. And where are your prayers for New York, Michaela? I'm just joking. We have the infrastructure, but it hasn't snowed this much since at least a year, if not longer. Where I am in New York City.
I just assume y'all are used to the snow.
I mean, it happened way more often growing up because I grew up here as well, but it hasn't happened nearly as often in the past few years.
And I don't know about you, Michaela, with the Floridians, but the Louisianians, we have been dealing with hurricanes since we were born. So whenever they get on the news, they let the news scare them when you should have hurricane prepared things year round because we get them at a certain time of the year. Then everyone wants to go in the stores, get crazy, buy up everything off the shelves. It's like we've been dealing with this all our life. So I would think the people that deal with snow should, be equipped to be able to deal with it. But hey, what do I know?
I'm telling you, and then hell, even in Tallahassee, they're thinking about we're going to get a half an inch of snow, which is going to really shut down this entire city.
Wait, you said a half an inch?
Half an inch? Come on now.
No, and that's going to shut down this entire city. I'm sorry, we're Floridians. We don't get snow. We don't get ice. Like, can y'all imagine?
We can drive in our car whenever. Our cars are not equipped to drive on roads like that.
What? How are you? Aren't you buying the same cars all over the country?
It's the tires, Oscar. It's the tires.
Our buildings are literally. Go ahead.
I didn't mean to speak over you, sorry, but I was just confused. I thought that all the cars were the same all over the country.
Don't they have different tires and stuff for like the winter work, for the winter weather and stuff? Like in Florida, we don't have that stuff. We're used to the heat, so all of our stuff is used to trying to get the heat out, trying to keep the coolness in. So even a half an inch of snow from Florida that never gets snow, that's gonna shut this city down. I'm scared we're gonna lose power for weeks because people don't know that you're supposed to, let your sink drip so the whole plumbing system won't freeze over. So of course the pipe's gonna burst. Like it's gonna be bananas.
Yes. I, for the record, don't have a license and can't drive, but I'm not sure if you're saying that the different distributors are actually distributing different tires, or if you think that people who live in places where they receive more snow than in Tallahassee, for instance, I'm familiar with like snow tires and chains on your tires to prevent from slipping on ice.
Yes.
I just assumed everyone buys the same tires to begin with, unless you customize or whatever. Whatever. It's not that interesting a topic to me, but we can talk about more if you want.
There's a best of Utah meet happening today.
What happened?
Sorry?
There's a best of Utah meet happening today.
Yes, there is. It's going on.
You guys talked about it in your last show.
I want to see it just to see how the youths respond to.
And I think Denver was facing off against another school at 3 p.m. as well. Does that sound correct?
Yeah, it was
you have to
Denver.
Pay for Denver stuff though.
I think Arkansas competed today as well. I know it was 3 meets going on for MLK Day. But did I pay attention to any one of them? No. So when number one Gym fan decides to repost them, they will get watched. I think the best of Utah meet starts at like 7 or 8. So I think we have time. We should be wrapping up the show by then because I bitch got to go to work tonight. So can Shayna or Oscar, can y'all check Instagram to see if I'm live on Instagram? I went through this whole process to try to add Instagram to the thing, but I can't tell if it worked or not.
Instagram, let me go.
I don't know if you follow me on Instagram. I think you follow me on Instagram. I think I saw a request from you, Shayna.
I'm able to do it if Shayna's not able to do it.
You are not live. Michaela loves gymnastics.
There's also a loves gymnastics Instagram, right?
There is. I think Ezra runs that though.
Is your profile picture with you with the black hair with the yellow top?
Yes.
Yeah, you're not live.
Not live? Okay. I try. I will figure it out later on.
What about? Oh, okay, yeah. And your backup page isn't live either.
Mm-mm.
Well,
so
like, how much do we really have to talk about that's happened since your last show the two of you did, which was nice?
Well,
in terms of gymnastics,
this stuff really nothing really gymnastics. I guess we have different pieces of news that happen.
Yeah, Cal had a meet Saturday.
Cal absolutely had a meet Sunday, and I'm gonna cuss y'all out because y'all really around here letting Selena Harris and Kristen Johnson have it for no reason.
Kirsten
those
Johnson.
Things will get cut. Kirsten Johnson. For no reason. And
you're not okay with that.
We gotta discuss the Jordan Childs 10 because we didn't even talk about that because that hadn't happened yet. We got to discuss the Jordan Childs 10 because
absolutely.
I love Jordan Childs like a fat kid loves cake. I love Jordan Childs so much, and I am one of her main defenders. I know y'all saw her take a step on that landing, right? I know everybody saw her literally take a step on that landing, right? There is no way that routine could have even gotten to a 10. It's like there's no way. Like
I didn't see
It was like a movement in play. It was like a
adjustment.
movement in place or an adjustment. It still wasn't perfect. It still should not have scored a 10. And I knew they was looking towards 10 when the girl in front of her got a 9.9, who I don't think deserved even that score. Frida.
She doesn't even deserve her name. No, I'm just joking.
Frida Esparza. She didn't deserve the 9.9 that she got. So they were high on bars. And then the next rotation, Maryland, although had some good routines, had multiple form errors, getting 9.9s and 9.95s.
There's just no way. I'm not going to try to shit on Maryland's gymnastics because they're not one of the major programs, and it's good to see them, become players in the whatever conference they're in. I think they're in the ACC or whatever, the Big Ten.
I think they're Big 12, whatever. Big Ten. I think so.
There is no way they should have scored more than a 194 for that total. Their gymnasts just...
I don't know anything.
The scores their gymnasts
about that program. Know anything about those?
I don't know anything about that program either. Coaches. I just know what I physically...
I know that's Dominique Dawes' alma mater.
Okay, well, she need to come back and help the program.
It probably is.
Maybe one of her children will be on the team one day.
Dominique Dawes she said she was planning to go to the meet to cheer on her alma mater and Jordan Chiles. I thought that was super exciting because when do you ever hear Dominique Dawes acknowledge NCAA or gymnastics at all? It's rare.
See, and this is my thing. When college gymnastics is going to a place that they're trying to do shock value, and you fans are already coming. You have programs who have succeeded with attendance. I feel like it started with Olivia Dunn and SUNY, but people were coming to LSU meets before Olivia Dunn stepped foot on that campus. But when you have a Simone Biles, they're trying to get Georgia back on the atmosphere of where it used to be. Then you have Lilia Pakapayeva in the stands. Then you go to Oklahoma and you see Nadia Comaneci.
Why was she there?
I think Lilia lives in Atlanta.
Lilia?
Yeah. Why was she there? That was so random to me.
Lilia lives in Atlanta. That's what I'm saying.
I just think she lives, yeah.
And these people are trying to get, the programs to, get the people out, get the gymnastics fans out.
You know what I heard?
Fans are not coming out because they're going to come out for Simone, but it's like, will it sustain throughout the season? If she's not coming to every meet and Georgia is going to start losing every meet, because that's what's going to happen when they go against these SEC teams.
You know what I heard, Shayna? I heard that LSU, before Livy Dunn, before her time, they were paying people to go sit in the stands at their meet.
Like famous people or past?
No, civilians to fill seats.
They never had to do that. I'm sorry. That part of that, no. Because people were going to those... People were coming there in 2011, 2012 when Reagan Corville and them was there, when LSU wasn't of the caliber that they were now. Before
that may be true, but how do you know they weren't paid to be there?
I mean, how do you know anybody's not doing that?
Touche.
You don't think Sarah and Suzanne wasn't doing that back in the day, and Greg Marston when he had 13,000 in Huntsman Center?
I'd be so curious to know.
Where would you get that information from? Pure speculation or
the message boards?
Or the message boards who are messy and that's not validity. And
I got it from Ben.
Maybe they paid him.
It adds a lot more validity to that statement, Shayna. You was up there on your high horse. When he said he got it from Ben Girl, you had to shut up.
Yeah, maybe they paid him. Maybe they paid his ass. But Ben hasn't been. Ben has. I'm sorry. Ben was a student there. Nobody knew of a Ben before he got to LSU. You know.
The only reason I'm going to just not even question that, just where the school's gonna have the money to pay the damn people to come to the damn gymnastics? Like they barely have the money to fund the gymnastics program.
And up until like 2 or 3 seasons ago, it was only $5 to get in there and free for children. So
that's what I was gonna say. I would say they probably gave the tickets away for free.
Yeah, Diddy Bro always tried to do that when no one came.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not possible, Oscar. It could be true, but I got to see receipts. Your mouth and what you heard is not a receipt to me.
Okay.
Not you. I'm just saying anyone who would come on a board and say something like that,
Of course, no, I understand.
I have to see it. People be so easily swayed of what they hear on social media. Social media is here to do that. It's here to cause the foolishness.
Speaking of social media, that's a great segue, Shayna. Before we get into the meats and potato of gymnastics, I feel like I would be doing a very bad job as a blogger, period, if I don't talk about this little TikTok ban and how unserious it was, and how a lot of you all need to check your privilege, because I feel like TikTok, even though for a lot of people they use it in the most evil way possible, is a life sin to a lot of American citizens. TikTok is the only social media platform that pays people the way that they do. Now we all know YouTube pay the girls. We all know the girls make money off of Instagram and off of Twitter and off of Facebook. But even I did not know how much money TikTok was paying the people. Like, it was this content creator. He had just about, I think you have to have over 10,000 subscribers to start making money with TikTok. And he had just that amount. Like, if the amount is 10,000, he had just that, maybe like 100 more people or whatever, right? And he was talking about how TikTok was sending him checks of $2,000 and $3,000 a month. That's just something.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were pausing. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, just to be messy, how do we know he was telling the whole truth about that?
He posted his screenshots and his receipts because he was upset because of with the band, they owe him $850 out of his grand total because one of his videos got demonetized for whatever reason. And that one video alone was making $850 for that month. And he didn't get that in his grand total payment. And that was his complaint. Like, if y'all going to shut down, at least shut down and give me all my coins. And that post right there made me understand how much money people were making off of TikTok. And how, like, it reminded me of going back in time to when the Craigslist and Backpage shut down. And how people was gloating and celebrating, talking about now y'all gonna have to get real jobs. Now y'all gonna have to get real. And it's the same thing that people was doing to these TikTok babies. And it just really, it hurt my feelings because why are y'all trying to make these people go back to the 9-to-5 rat race? It's not, everybody can't make it off of TikTok. Everybody hasn't made it off of TikTok because clearly if everybody could make it off TikTok, they would. But the people who do make it off of TikTok, why are you trying to tear them down? That's like an income that they don't have to go to these people jobs and make, or they don't have to bust their ass in 2 or 3 damn jobs just to earn money. And it's something that everybody was doing anyway. So why are y'all hating that certain people were able to make grand sums of money from this social media platform? Like I said, it reminded me a lot of the whole Craigslist Backpage thing, and people just seeing that the money coming in, but they don't see the hard work it is to make content. It's not easy to make content. It's not easy to constantly post. It's not easy to keep engagements up and to follow the rules, because every fucking 2 weeks, the social media platform changes the way that you are allowed to make money, to do things, to what can be ran on your profile, what can't be ran on your profile. So these people have constantly been going through this shit. And even though it was just for one day, and even though Trump is acting like he saved that shit, I felt extraordinarily sad.
They're giving credit to Trump, right? On the app, right? You showed me the message, or someone showed me.
Yeah, they are giving that fucker credit. But it's just the amount of money TikTok paid to the people. That's why people were always on TikTok. That's why TikTok became the platform that it became. If you were able to be on it in the first wave of TikTok and was monetized, you're probably a millionaire just off of TikTok.
I don't know about that, but it's possible. I know a lot of people who don't make any money off of TikTok, and they're like addicted to it.
I know tons of people who don't make any money off of TikTok. They are addicted to it. But I tell them people they should step their pussies up and try to make money off of it, because
they have jobs, other jobs. They don't need to. But of course,
why not? If you're always on TikTok anyways, why not monetize it and make money? Because these people don't do anything special to make money off.
Not everyone is posting. Some people are literally just doom scrolling and liking everything, you know?
Oh, so that's different. Yeah.
There's variety. I have 2 questions for you. Is that okay?
Sure.
Okay, the first one is a 2-part question. So I'll start with YouTube specifically, but then we could branch out to all of the social media that you use that is monetized. I think I can guess your answer to the first part for YouTube. If YouTube stopped, was demonetized for everyone, let's say you can't make money off of YouTube anymore, would you continue using it as a poster and as a viewer?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what about your other ones? I don't know how much money you make off of your other social media platforms.
Yeah, because the way I have it, I don't make grants. I don't make much of anything off of my social media, but I have it so where I just continue to regularly post and I just make money just by what I normally always do. So,
but
it's not like I'm doing anything that I wouldn't already do. I just made it so that I could make money from what I already was doing. Like, if you're already addicted to social media why not monetize your accounts? You're going to already be on it.
I did not start my YouTube page to be monetized, but when I saw that it was an option, when I looked at your page, I was like, why wouldn't I want that as a goal? So now, thankfully, I'm monetized, and that's great, but that's not why I started, and that's not why I post.
I think I have my Instagram is monetized, my Facebook is monetized, my Twitter is monetized.
Your Instagram is monetized?
Yeah. I think so. I know my Facebook is, and I know they're both Meta. So, well, I don't think I have. No, it's not, because I don't have enough subscribers on Instagram to be monetized.
I'm not sure. I was impressed. Yes, it's an empire. Okay, here's my second.
But it's just, I just personally feel like if you're on social media all the time, like I am anyway, why not?
You can't fight that law.
And then if you could gain some kind of a foothold and a following and make good money, fuck them people in their jobs. Like, work for yourself.
Are you still on Blue Sky and Threads?
I am on Blue Skies, yes. On Threads, I have a Threads account. I just took the app off of my phone. Because Threads just was not doing it for me.
Do you make money from Twitch or Kick or Discord?
No, no, and no.
Okay. Ready for my second question? It's very similar. It's not.
Oh, that was just the first question. Yes, go
The second
ahead.
question is, would you be surprised if OnlyFans gets banned in the near future? I know they were trying to reform the policy, and people were a lot of the content creators they gave like backlash. They were not happy with it, and I think they found like a middle ground or something.
I don't think OnlyFans should be banned.
Well, should TikTok be
I
banned?
don't think any social media platform should be banned just because a certain country created that platform.
Well, you can get in. People have a lot of reasons for why TikTok and other things should be banned. But if that's the case, if that's how you feel, it's not really relevant. So tell me why you think it could or would not be banned in the future.
OnlyFans or TikTok?
OnlyFans. Based off of this TikTok as a precedent.
I don't think there is no precedent because I think the reason why they were doing it for TikTok, at least their excuse was because the country of China owned the app and they were collecting Americans' data for their own personal usage, which is, I think, which initiated the ban. I don't think they up front was like, we're banning TikTok because too many people are making money off of TikTok, even though I think that's the underlying reason why. I think the overlying reason was the presumption that China had too much control over American information.
I told you in our chat. I've never had a TikTok account. I've never had the app. I've looked at some TikToks on Simone and Connor McLean's pages here and there a few years ago. But anyway, I say that I totally, with this whole band reaching my timeline or whatever, it felt to me like it was banned for everyone, and it wasn't just a USA thing. So it totally escaped me, and I felt so silly realizing that it's not banned for anyone else except for in the United States. I wonder what the
Some people were
statistics are,
having
though. The breakdown on
in
like
other countries.
how much content comes from the United States versus other countries for engagement.
Well, I'm not sure how they do it, but it seems like each country, they kind of encapsulate that social media to that country unless you actively look for like TikTok in Canada or TikTok in China or something like that. But
Okay. But I wonder if there are like more American TikTokers than other countries, you know? Could be totally the opposite, but I'm curious. That's how it felt. Like it was an American thing.
I don't think maybe, but I know TikTok was late to come to America. Like other countries didn't have TikTok, but they call it something else. They don't call it TikTok.
Okay.
It's like Red Note or something like that.
I've heard of Red Note this week for the first time. People are saying, well, some people were saying, that's people I don't know, were like, go to Red Note. It's like a replacement for TikTok. But then some people who I follow on Twitter who are gymnastics fans were like, Red Note is fabulous for finding routines from Chinese gymnasts that are not allowed on Twitter or YouTube. You just search in their initials, you know, like Oyushan, OYS, and literally like 20 routines that you've never seen in your life pop up. Allegedly.
Well, I mean,
So I'll have to look into that.
it makes sense because Red Note is very Chinese centric. So
Okay, I don't know if
it's
that's true.
that Chinese. I think so. I think so. But in conclusion to that, I'm just, you know, just because you may not personally like something, you should always take into consideration how something may affect somebody else. And this TikTok ban was really going to. You was about to see a lot of people busting it open on OnlyFans because they ain't have nothing else to do.
Two things can be true at the same time. You can hate TikTok and still feel for those people who are losing the income.
Correct. Especially like it was so many families who had family TikToks, and the father and mother was able to quit their job and just raise their family because of the money they were making on TikTok.
Oh, that's okay, but no, I don't like when they exploit their kids. There's no such thing as consensual like family vlogs, in my opinion.
I mean, look at what's the gymnast? Charlotte Booth. Wasn't that her major issue?
I think you're thinking of Whitney Bjorken.
Whitney Bjorken. Whitney. Wasn't that her issue? Yeah, I'm so sorry, Charlotte. I didn't mean to throw you in there, girl. I mean, Whitney Bjorken. Wasn't that her major issue? Like, her family and her created this huge ass social media platform just for her to not reap the benefits of the social media platform until she was like, wait.
Right.
But it's literally my YouTube channel.
And also she from what I recall, she did not, and she was critical about the pressure it placed on her to be the sole supporter of her family.
It just makes me really sad when, and I'm not saying Whitney was that talented of a gymnast. She was. But it just really makes me sad when
a quintuple wolf term on Beam. Don't you remember?
Great. But it's just it makes me sad when like you see these kids growing up and then they get to a certain age and then they be like, yeah, fuck y'all, fuck gymnastics, I'm done.
Right.
She'd be like,
she doesn't.
But sis, you just started. Like, what do you mean you're done? You just started. She was like, yeah, fuck y'all, fuck this, fuck these flips, fuck the University of Alabama. I'm done. You're like, damn, Whitney, was it that bad, girl? Like, what happened?
Do you think it's possible that, and I'm not just talking about Whitney, you can use your imagination, but like Whitney was so attached to the idea of being coached by Dana Duckworth. When they fired Dana, she was like, oh, fuck this, I'm done.
Possibly. I wouldn't be surprised.
What do you think about that, Shayna?
Shayna's like, I had no thoughts, bitch.
I hope that's the case. I'm worried she, I don't know. Maybe she stepped away for a moment. Well, while you gather your thoughts, I'll just mention that thankfully we all heard about Avery Neff's injury on floor for Utah. She released a statement through the University of Utah University. You know what I'm talking about. Sorry if I got that wrong, but she said
I'll be right
back. Sprain, and it's not as bad as it looked, and she thinks that there's a road to recovery, and she seems to have somewhat of a positive mindset. So I think that's great, and I'm glad it's not something worse, like a broken bone.
Yeah, because it looked really bad. It looked incredibly bad.
Yeah, I couldn't even watch it. Is it just me? Is it a solo show? Welcome to the Gymnastics Saves Lives show. Just kidding.
Bitch, I'm here. Bitch, I am here. I said, hold on, I'll be right back.
Okay, let's talk about.
While we're talking about Avery, let's talk about it. So, I found the routine of Avery Neff's the injury. Right, I put up in my mind a very stern trigger warning. So, if you did not want to see the injury, you could have scrolled past it. I did not just like post a routine, but like Avery Neff floor routine.
I don't remember what you said. What do you think you said?
Injury trigger warning. You
feel certain you did that? Because I don't remember that.
Well, I'm 1000% certain. Maybe not in the group chat, but the post that I posted, I absolutely did. And so I posted it, and people started watching it, and then 3 or 4 people was like, "It's so disrespectful to post injuries. It's so disrespectful to post injuries."
They commented,
and I
or they wrote you,
yes,
directly.
They commented under the video.
Okay.
So I'm like, I paid it no attention. Then it was this person who I actually like and consider them a friend on the internet. And they was like, please consider taking this video down. So I did, right? But I did it very begrudgingly because I'm like, I've seen tons of videos on social media of injuries, of recent injuries.
Like who?
When I posted the video of Kamira Williams doing her bad Yurchenko double to her knee injury, y'all didn't have no injury with that. Why do y'all have an issue when
that wasn't an injury? She went to bars right after.
But then she got pulled out to me. That wasn't injury.
I think that was just because she was shaken up. I remember her saying that she was okay. But I see where you're going with it. I don't mean to be so hard on you. Sorry. Give me another example.
When everybody was posting Rebecca Ross injury or her DTY, how everybody wanted to find
before my time. In 2011,
a lot of people want to find Sang. What's the girl name? Sang La from 1998. How she injured herself on vault. I finally found that video and posted it. I didn't get no backlash for that. Why is it with Avery?
Ooh, I could never watch that. I'm so surprised that there was no backlash for those videos. I didn't see you posting them. I would totally expect that.
I don't understand. Is it because I'm going to take the race thing out of it for 1 second? Is it because she's a fresh face? Is it because it just happened? What is it? I really don't understand it.
Is it because the culture is changing, perhaps?
All right, y'all. I made it back.
Where did you go?
I went downstairs. I forgot I had food on.
Oh.
Okay.
and I had to make sure I didn't burn it.
I don't feel like.
What are we talking about? I'm totally.
At this point, we're talking about injuries.
Avery Neff, what about her?
Injuries and if they should be shown and reposted or not.
I mean, they shouldn't be, but they're going to be because that's the type of world we live in. Everyone wants to see everything. And
so what would you say to someone like Michaela, who is out here being the original poster?
Is she the original poster? I think it was out because she had to find it somewhere.
She posted it. I don't know that she was the first, but she posted her own video of Avery's floor routine where she got injured, and apparently she wrote, "There's a trigger warning. There's an injury in this video, in this routine."
Oh well, then I mean that's her. That is her. Her right to do whatever she wants to do on her platform.
Of course, of course.
I wasn't finna take all the time to do all that, you know, if it was on my platform, you know. But
why would you do it in the first place if you just said they shouldn't be posted?
That's just me. I wouldn't do it.
But do you think the grander question is, do you think posting injuries is a bad thing, or is it part of the sport? Because to me, injuries, it's like when I watch figure skating, right? Do I love the beautiful figure skating? Yes. Mm-hmm. Do I love watching the skaters fall? Yeah, I do. I can't lie. It's part of my enjoyment of figure skating.
Okay, let's make that distinction between falls and falls that are injuries.
Yeah, I think, because a lot of figure skaters do fall on double and triple axles, but they get their butts right back up and keep on moving it. When it comes to someone visually hurting themselves, that's when I'm like, you know what? I don't want to see it. Like, I don't want to see it. Like the football player for one of the Buffalo Bills last year, he basically almost died. You know, I don't want to see no replay of that. Like I showed the Shelby Hilson story. When it happened in real time, I was watching it in real time, and they kept replaying the fall.
Shayna, what do you think, though, about, you said I don't want to see that replay.
I don't.
But should we respect the privacy of the athlete and have it not be replayed for anyone?
The injury, yeah. I really do.
I totally agree. I was just curious.
I really do.
I wanted to clarify that.
You know, if that's my daughter, I mean, and people always quick to say, well, you're a public figure, you're playing sport. Come on now. And we have gotten into the world of social media where everything is out there in the open. But certain things I just feel like should not be. I'm still old school in a lot of things. I'm very progressive when it comes to everyone's rights. Everyone, you know, choosing to do what they're going to do, as long as it's not hurting anyone else. But if that was my niece, daughter, girlfriend, I don't want to come home and look on, you know, social media. You know, the gymnastics world is a small world. So it's basically only going to be fans, parents, and friends of that are going to come up. And if they are even in these, you know, these boards, these message boards, anything that's pertaining to college gym, I don't want to see that.
Hey, what if it was yourself that was injured and you kept coming across your injury video?
That would kind of be hard and triggering to me.
That would be extremely triggering, I would imagine.
Yeah, because it's like I hurt myself, and everything that I have worked for up until this point, I have to see it again. Because I went through it. It was a lived experience. So now I have to see it again. Yeah. I don't want to see it for that instance. Yeah. But also you got to understand, why are people reposting it? That's the question. So Michaela can repost it for whatever reason she wants to. But the next person might do it because they don't like Utah. And they want to see it again. Like, you got to understand, why are people reposting?
Well, I don't think one is better or worse necessarily. But I definitely am not a fan of posting injuries. I think it's insensitive personally to the athletes and their families or whatever. And I think it's like about being courteous, considering them. It's
not considerate at all.
Yeah, and I do think that there's a difference, and I'm happy to have this discussion about what the details of that or whatever. But I do think it's a different discussion if you're talking about falls, because I know people do like to watch fall compilations that are not injuries.
Mm-hmm. Those are funny. Yeah.
Well, people have different feelings about those, but I can understand. That's different to me.
Yeah. Well, when people compilate, I mean, for one, is that against the law to do that, or if it's public, if people find that on the internet and just make a video of people falling,
with or without injuries?
Without.
Well, I don't know, but they exist.
Either way, I don't think either way is illegal. I mean, and just like there are compilation videos of falls, there are compilation videos on social medias of injuries.
Mm-hmm.
And
I hate that.
Not in gymnastics, in other sports, in all sports. So it's definitely happens,
including gymnastics.
But I never know why. What is the point of that? Why do?
Because sometimes I feel like, okay, and I'm gonna defend myself as a person who sit up there and watch those damn videos, as a person who can find entertainment in that. I'm not being entertained by the person's pain, but sometimes watching injuries help explains the projections of that person's career. Like if you didn't know what happened to Vanessa Atler, you would have had to go back to 1999, the French international competition, and realize, oh shit, Vanessa Atler really got injured doing her double layout punch front on that fucked up ass floor that the French Federation gave.
Fucked her damn body
so without that, correct. So without that knowledge of that injury happening, you would just be like, oh shit, Vanessa Atler just fell off. Like, what the fuck?
Well,
now, I understand that you may not want to see.
What if you're able to read?
Correct. I understand you may not want to actually see the injury.
Do they have a video of that?
There is a video.
Oh, they truly do.
I want to see it.
Shayna, I only learned about it
See, look, there we go.
I only want to see it because I only want to see it because she was one of my favorite. She's still one of my favorite American gymnasts of all time. And when she got hurt, I didn't know anything about it because you remember they were in China for the '99 World. So and back then I didn't know background information on the gymnast.
What's wrong with her Wikipedia page? Literally says Atler was at the French International in the event final or whatever.
Because it's not the same as watching.
No, but it literally says she was doing her double layout into her punch front as her first pass on this not standard equipment.
That's why I want to see the standard equipment. I don't want to see her hurt herself, but I want to see.
I just watched it, and I'm telling you, it looks like any other mat. It looks like any other floor. You can't see anything.
Really?
You just see her limping.
And then 2000 is like she was hurt, and then what they went through with just everything. How USA did with her, NBC make it seem like she's just a basket case. Like all that contributed to that woman.
Can I interject? Mm-hmm. You see how you're describing the injury to Shayna, but it's still not registering to Shayna. She needs to see what happened to understand what happened to Vanessa Atler.
She thinks she does, and
you can shake your head.
Telling her there is nothing that's gonna visually register with you. That you think there's gonna be something, but there's not.
It's only because it's her. I don't care if I see a Aly Raisman or Michaela Maroney or Kyla Ross injury. It's just because it's
going back to where we're at with Avery.
I don't even understand.
Going back to where we're at with Avery.
I love see them injured.
Yeah.
What?
That shit stopped her. That helped stop her from becoming on that 2000 Olympic team that I still think she should have been on. Yes, Oscar.
She was not going to be chosen even if she didn't get injured.
Yes, she would have.
No,
maybe if she wasn't injured, she may have been able to train better and been more consistent to not flop at trials like she did. So injuries do play a part in people.
That's a nice story.
Especially in elite level, you're not regularly training hard skills. I don't care if you've been doing them since you were 12. You have to practice. This is not college where you can not practice all week and then go do a cookie cutter beam routine. That's just my take.
Going back to incorporating into where we're at, I feel like with Avery, I feel like the injury, now that we all know it wasn't bad, she did not break her ankle. I want to see what happened because even I don't understand how she punched so horribly on that Rudy. Like, I've never seen nobody just like miss their feet and go straight to their ankles. Like,
yeah. And people are saying that bad sprains are worse than breaks. So she's still going to have a long recovery. Because that's not just an ankle like a bone. That's like ligaments that have to heal up.
Shayna, didn't you mention she also she had like maybe an awkward landing on her leap passage before that tumble?
She did.
And that's why I wanted to play the full routine, because that was the gist of what I was trying to get to, was the leap pass. Did she mess up her leap pass and start the injury on the leap pass and was like in her head? And then was
just basically
because you have to see the whole context to see how did this happen, because the injury just did not happen. It was like a progression of, oh shit, she messed up her leap series. Oh shit, she kind of did a wonky aerial for no reason. Like, oh.
And you saw it, Michaela, right? So, I'm not tripping because I was watching it in real life, and then I didn't want to go. I didn't go back and see the replay. So, but I saw it in real life that she wonky on a jump.
And then part two, to why I don't have an issue with playing the routine. If you watch the Utah meet, the routine is there. They didn't edit the routine down. If you go back and watch Addict Stream, the routine is there. I just solely focused on the routine, but the routine is there on social media for anybody to watch. Like,
you know, and
I don't know.
I guess it's a specific person. You know, if I have a big gymnastics page and we're talking about things in the community, I can replay something that, you know, everyone is talking about. For one, it's going to help my views. For two, it's going to also like have something to talk about on my next show. So, and it is very popular right now because we are in College Gym. So, you know, if I had a podcast or any type of social media where I'm talking about it, yeah, it's going to come up. But if I'm just for shits and giggles, no, I don't want to see Avery Neff getting hurt again.
To me, that's kind of desperate if you're relying on posting injuries to come up with subject matter for your platform.
But all of this is opinionated stuff, though. Maybe somebody else, like, what about the other podcasts? Are they talking about it?
I'm not sure. I'm
pretty sure they are. They may not replay they might not replay the video, but you know, everyone does, you know, different things, you know.
Everyone feels differently. Look, all three of us feel like differently.
Because number one gym fan, they never reposted the Utah meet, but most of the Panova fan did.
Mm-hmm.
But don't you see the difference in posting a meet versus going out of your way to specifically post an injury routine?
Yeah, because you can watch the injury at your own time, you know, but to actually physically
because the injury is still there. So if the crest
if you want to see the injury that badly, go watch the meet. Why do you have to post this one traumatic thing? Like, it exists for people to see. Why not post the whole Utah meet?
I don't care about the Utah gymnasts. I want to talk about Avery at her injury, and I want y'all to see the progression of, oh, the routine just was weird. The whole routine was wonky. Like, it wasn't just the.
Why don't you post
Rudy.
Why don't you post Sky Blakely's injuries?
I do.
Do you? I don't remember you doing that.
Nobody say.
I don't remember.
Nobody say.
Okay. I don't recall.
Her second injury, I don't think there was no video of what she was doing, a double layout or something on floor.
Oh, I saw that.
But that first injury,
I saw the video of Sky's. It was her Chuso, and I saw the video of Connor's Chuso, and I'm scarred for life. They were terrible. Like,
I never saw them. That's why I never posted it. But her first injury, that round off, yeah, because that thing fascinates me to this day. Because I still don't know, how did you break your elbow on a round off?
Was it broken? I never knew for sure it was broken. But yeah, it was her elbow.
It was.
Well, wait. Here's something I want to know from both of you. What's the, to you, for you personally, as a injury junkie, Michaela? I'm just joking. What's the most disturbing gymnastics injury you've ever seen? For me, I'll go first. It was the French male gymnast at Rio in 2016 at the Olympics.
Oh, yeah. That used to be number one for me, but now it's the NCAA girl who was doing the handspring double front and broke both her kneecaps. That was absolutely the most disturbing injury I've ever saw in gymnastics.
I never saw that one.
If you haven't seen either, I'll just quickly describe both. The French male gymnast, his literally like his tibula or his fibula, his calf broke out of his
snapped in half.
I saw that.
It was bad.
And it was just dangling.
It was bad.
Dangling. And then this.
But to me,
she had the
NCAA gymnast. It was worse. It was worse because it was both legs. It was.
At least the bones stayed in her body.
Yeah.
But both of her legs hyperextended.
Whatchamacallit was bad too. That one, I always saw the fluffs of Kerri Strug flying from off that bar.
That was hard to watch, especially
that was
since
bad.
She was like screaming out in pain. But I feel a little better knowing that she wasn't seriously injured.
And you know what? I think that video is why I feel the way I feel about injuries, because NBC damn sure posted that thing a million and one times.
They did.
Who was her coach at the time?
I don't think she had a coach at the time.
Is it possible it was Arthur Akopian? Was he coaching back then? Did he coach her? Because that's what Jim Cast.
I don't know. Kerri went to so many gyms for like 2 weeks before she finally went back to Bella. Like, she was going to gyms every. So
all right, they want to talk about Connor McClain switching gyms, but it was people did it before her. Look at Gabby Douglas.
Yeah, Kerri did.
Kerri Strug.
Kerri damn sure didn't have no issues with changing gyms on y'all asses. Like,
I hate NBC.
Yes, I hate them too. How they didn't pull Vanessa Adler when they could have just said, you know what, girl, don't even worry about bars. That shit got in her head.
That NBC just picks and chooses which parts of USAG history they want to introduce to new viewers. And all this other stuff just gets left by the wayside. Not just that, like, they pretend like it didn't happen.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And before we get into our recap, let's finish off with, because I'm having fun. I'm having fun. I hope y'all understand. I'm having fun, even though I got to take my ass to work tonight. We got 2 stories, a little bit. I'm calling this segment "Racism in Gymnastics" now because Y'all are making this a segment, so it's a segment. Kirsten Johnson and this floor routine. First of all, I wanted to give a shout out to James. Ooh, what's his last name? Oh gosh,
James Jones? Is that his?
Blackmail? His last name might be Jones. For making this routine go viral. It was his video of him reposting it that has gone viral. That has over 1.5 million views on Twitter.
Wow.
The backlash that this girl is getting, though, like y'all are saying that her dance is clownery. Y'all are telling her basically to shut up, N-word, and flip. Y'all is telling her why she's doing the most. Why is her gymnastics sloppy? Is this even really gymnastics? I thought we was going to watch gymnastics, not a hip hop concert.
What about all the people shamelessly and explicitly, not implicitly, comparing her to monkeys?
It's just, it is disgusting. And you can say you don't like the routine all you want to. That's your artistic, creative right as a human being to say what you like and what you don't like. But to act like her routine is any different than so if she was doing everything she was doing to some violin music, I would be okay with it. Like, I don't. And it's very sad. It's just extraordinarily sad. Are there things in that routine that can be criticized? Absolutely.
But
do I feel like y'all are making it about?
There's so many other routines with just as many issues, if not more, that don't receive any amounts of palpable backlash. It's definitely has to do with racism.
And this is definitely racism because y'all are calling her monkeys. Y'all are saying
definitely.
Like,
I feel really terrible for her.
And then y'all applaud. Then
she has the black hair.
Correct. And then Helen Hu, I'm not trying to come for you, but you do the bare minimum of gymnastics and it's real flexible, and the girls go up. You do no tumbling, you barely flip at all, and the girls go up.
Are we talking about floor?
And that's real gymnastics. Floor, her balance beam routine, she has that one acro series, but that's about it.
Nobody don't Helen like that.
Yeah, let's not talk about her beam, but I haven't seen her floor. Let's talk about her floor.
She don't even compete floor. She probably haven't competed floor since her freshman year in Missouri. I think Helen stopped doing bottom floor her freshman year.
It's just.
But the thing is, though, Michaela, that still doesn't take away from Helen Hu and the strengths that she has. The thing is, that is wrong on so many levels to have Kirsten come under fire like that when Black people have been going through that for the beginning of time, and we still have a long way to go. And me and you are going to be long gone, I think, before real change really happens.
I could take Brooklyn Moore again. Not a lot of content to that routine, and Kirsten do harder tumbling than she does, but y'all live for Brooklyn Moore's routine.
Mm-hmm.
Who else doesn't do a lot of content in their routine?
What school does she go to?
Mostly dead. Temple.
I mean, I thought there was some, like, I saw some statistic about how it's like 90% of floor routines this season are 2 pass.
There are 2 passes. They're just dancing. They have 1 leap. These floor routines, and this is a bigger conversation. The judges, y'all said y'all was going to change the rules to make it more harder to get started from a 10.0. And I sit up here as a fan and says, bitch, where? Because it seems like now, even from last year, these routines are way easier than what they were doing last year. Go back 10 years ago, these routines are way, way easier than what they were doing 10 years ago. And then the excuse that y'all say is the bodies, the bodies, the bodies. They had the same bodies, the same training time 10 years ago, and the girls was giving me 3 good tumbling passes on floor, a leap series, and a spin. Like, I just...
Because when you say the bodies, I think about preserving their bodies so that they won't be dealing with health issues later in life.
Preservations of their bodies.
But it sounded like you then were saying maybe like just in the time frame of them actually being in college, like they won't be able to compete that. Is that what?
No, what I'm saying is, in the time frame of them being in college, I need for gymnastics to step it up. Like, I need for everybody to stop acting like this isn't a sport.
Totally.
And like it's just some piece. And like there has to be some standard level of difficulty in it. Like, it don't have to be, again, elite level difficulty. No, nobody's asking for that. But it has to be harder than what we're seeing. Like,
definitely, I think we all feel that way. I meant when you said other people are saying they should the bodies. What I was trying to understand what you meant by that, not what you felt.
When people are like their bodies, all the pounding on their bodies. That's why all the girls are only doing 2 tumbling passes, so they won't, their bodies and so on and so forth.
Okay.
I get it. You're a gymnast. These are the choices that you made. Like, the rules need to be a tad bit harder. Like, at least give it to me where it was 10 years ago when the girls all did 3 tumbling passes.
Or like, do your 2 pass routines. That's fine, but like you don't start out of a 10.
I think getting the 10 point, I think a lot of teams should not. Like, I think it should be like an elite. Like, clearly OU, Florida, LSU, Utah, UCLA for the most part, MSU, they're going to have gymnasts where most of their routines are going to start from 10. But I don't think some of these smaller teams, they just don't do enough to have their routines to start from a 10. Like,
and then want to add like a stupid jump to try to get credit for it.
Okay, but those top 4 are guilty of that too.
They are, but I think that it's more laziness than laziness is don't Michaela skin me. That's the wrong word. It's more so.
It just started with Florida and LSU, like kind of like last year. Oklahoma been doing that.
They're playing correct. They're playing within the rules that they have. So if they see the 2 pass floor routines are scoring higher than the 3 pass floor routines, why would they do a 3 pass floor routine?
Mm-hmm.
Shayna, when you said doing a silly jump, I thought of your team though. I thought of Livy Dawn in those rings.
Oh my God, her rings.
She's been doing those.
Look,
Livy Dawn is a 5th year. She's been doing those. Like, why people are outraged now?
She added one. I don't remember.
She had to add one because they changed the rules. But Livy Dawn has always done 2 passes since she's been at LSU.
Split ring for a switch.
But she's not the only one. It's a lot of them don't do it properly. Come here, Royal. Come here, Royal.
It's a joke.
Hey, Pop. Hey, man.
Michaela, what's the title of this video, this show?
Well, I never really titled it. I just used the old title from the last show me and Shayna did. So I'm just gonna put a part 2 to it.
I love doing that show at 2:00 in the morning.
Shayna,
it was so much fun. It's just
we're into the video. When I was rewatching it, you're like, I'm getting sleepy, so I'm gonna log off soon. I was like, there are 3 hours left of this video. What's gonna happen?
I don't know, because we started talking about Wendy Williams, so and that was a hot topic. So it's like, when that polarizing, media happens, everybody wants to talk about the tea. That's just human nature.
I was sad I missed John Perry.
And him to join in, so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna stick here. I slept really good afterwards.
Oscar.
Michaela.
Before we go into this recast, because we've been up here for an hour, we haven't even really. Well, we taught gymnastics, but I'm so sorry.
Yeah, we're gonna do our rankings. We definitely gotta do our rankings.
Yeah, but fuck that. Everybody, give me 1 second. Y'all bald-headed scallywags over there on gym Twitter is gonna back off Selena Harris on this day, January 20th, this Martin Luther King Day, 2025. Y'all gonna back off Selena Harris.
Gonna back off because Selena Harris.
Wait, what does this have to do with?
Because the school she chose to go to. Go ahead.
What does that have to do with me?
No,
it ain't got nothing to do with you.
She said the gym.
Everybody in general.
Oh, I thought you prefaced that by saying, "Wait, Oscar has to talk about this or something."
Mm-mm. She said the gym internet is going to stay off of her girl.
You went Oscar. I went Michaela.
Y'all gonna stay off Selena.
And it's Harris Miranda now.
I'm so sorry. You're right, Oscar. I was gonna talk about something else. And then this hit my mind.
Let's talk about
my bipolar ass went to.
Forget that. Whatever it was. I just wanted to clarify. I wasn't both.
No, we're gonna talk about Selena did nothing wrong. Selena was talking her shit as a Florida Gator. So the Florida Gators are ranked number 3 in the country right now. And she said, period. Period. She's happy that she left them down LSU. I'm sorry, LSU.
Selena is Florida moved up to 3. Let me get on these rankings. See, I've been at work all day. Florida is boosted all the way up to 3 after that meeting.
And it's not even like Selena.
Well, according to
listen, it was very.
I don't think it was the official rankings. I think it was All Things Gymnastics.
I'm about to do it. Florida is ranked number 3 this week. It's Oklahoma, LSU, Florida, Michigan State, Utah, Kentucky, Cal, UCLA, Oregon State, and Alabama.
Oh my gosh.
Then you got, it's a clusterfuck. You got Alabama, Missouri, Auburn, Georgia, all back to back to back. So that 4th spot is going to be fun. And then Arkansas, my God, today, down here at 17th. So.
Are you hydrating, Michaela?
I'm getting there.
If we were having nationals today, our national teams would be Oklahoma, LSU, Florida. I love to do this, like different parts of the season, like who would actually be the top 8. If we did it, UCLA would barely make it at 8.
That's all they need.
Of the top 8, I can see 2 of these teams for sure not making it. And I don't know, y'all. I'm just not that high on Cal this year. I got to see more. 10 is Alabama. It's definitely Alabama and Utah. I think Utah is going to struggle.
How did the girls react? Like, what were the scores after Avery's injury on the floor?
That was another thing.
Was there
that was a big thing. what people were saying about you remember, Michaela? We talked about it a little bit.
Talk about that, but I didn't hear you talk about the scores. Like, did Grace McCallum do floor after Avery?
Yeah, her and what's the other one?
Yeah, I think they had two routines.
What's the baby name? They did. They scored a 197.3.
No, but the scores, the individual ones, did they get 9 9s?
I think so.
Oh, good for them. Okay.
That's what I'm saying. People were talking about where they would look like they were laughing. Arkansas just scored a 197, y'all, at Denver. What the hell?
What does
or was it at home?
What does it mean when people say Trump with a K?
I have to go back and watch this. I hope they put it up.
Do you have any ideas?
No.
Because that original poster who was like criticizing Grace and her teammate for smiling after Avery got injured said something about Trump with a K. Did you end up watching the Oregon State meet, Shayna?
I can't find it.
It's on the Pac-12 network on YouTube for free.
Please send it to me in the group.
Did you watch Jade's routines?
I did not, because I'm not a Jade fan.
But you're an NCAA fan.
I am.
You're supposed to see everything.
I want to watch the whole team.
What's going on, Shayna?
I want to see them. I want to see them meet. I'm not going to just go on Twitter and look at Jade.
Jade posted the highest all.
But wait, hold on, everybody. I don't feel like I'm done cursing people out for Selena Harris. Selena Harris, talk your shit, girl. Your current team is number 3 in the country. Your former team is number 8, and they're not even going to make it to nationals. Talk your shit, Selena Harris' sister. Talk your shit.
But because it was so implicit,
tell them people to eat your cootie.
How would you feel if she literally wrote on her Instagram story, "Fuck UCLA," no explanation, or like, "I hope UCLA this year doesn't make it to nationals."
I would be like, period.
Okay.
And there's so many LSU haters. I done got to just ignore stuff now.
I would be Selena Harris. If you need a platform to make that announcement, you're more than welcome to come to Love's Gymnastics.
She should have came my ass to LSU.
I'm more than willing to sit up here and express UCLA out with you, girl.
Selena and Trinity, y'all should have came to LSU. Trinity, you would have got a title before you left college had you went to LSU. I honestly believe that.
Wait, she got a title, at least one.
She did not win an NCAA title as a team.
Oh, who cares about the team when you're
that's all that matters
to you? I'd rather
all that matters to not Oscar. That's all that matters to probably 95% of college gym.
Well, I'm the 5%.
The team title.
Yeah, I don't even know why they do.
Yeah, that individual is not. That is not an importance for college gymnastics.
To me, having a national team title is so unimpressive. Like, great, you had teammates who like carried you. You rode on their coattails. Nice.
But that's what college gymnastics
is.
It's all about the team. Like,
no, I like when they win the individual titles.
Well, that's why you like elite. But we in NCAA over here, baby. And it's all.
I mean, they used to back in the day give NCAA. I mean, they still give titles out, but it's like,
several girls like Amalia O'Keefe would give up their individual titles to have a team title. They say these things.
In fact, I hate that they do the nationals. The individuals are the day 1 and the team is day 2.
I hate that part too.
Bullshit.
I used to like the individual being on a day of its own. I used to like that better too. I don't know why they changed.
I mean, they could just give us.
Why they changed it, Michaela? They was like it was too hard on the school.
Nobody was buying tickets to that third day.
You don't think it was?
Nobody was.
It was about like they weren't getting their best performances on the second day, or vice versa, something like that.
No, because the way they used to do it, they used to do.
It was like the next day. It was like they competed on.
It was qualifications was one day. Then all the individuals was the next day. Then team finals was the final day. So
3 days. I love that.
It was 3 days.
I love that.
But it was spanned in 4. Like they would do like Thursday would be qualifications. The Super 6 would be that Saturday, and then the apparatus final would be the next day. I think the apparatus is the last.
Off on Friday.
Yeah, they had a break in between.
I love that. When did they stop doing that?
The one time that I remember watching this, Shayna, which was in
Stop. The last year,
2000.
The last individuals was 15, I think.
Oh, that's recent. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, 2015 was the last time they had nationals, and I mean they had
one of the main things with the individual. One of the main things with the individuals was vault, because they still made them do 2 different vaults, and the girls just did not have another vault.
Oh, they don't do that anymore, right?
But they ended up stopping that though. I forgot what year, maybe 2010-ish. I think they stopped doing the 2 vaults.
Has a gymnast ever swept the individual events? Like Dominique Dawes or Simone Biles?
Like all 4.
I think it was that Kentucky girl, Jenna Hansen.
I think she's the only one, or kind of close to it. I think like a Courtney Cupettes and a Jamie Dancer, they did like 2. They like won the all around in like 2 events, but never all 4 of them.
Jenny Hansen.
A clean sweep. But I think Utah back in the day used to win like the team titles, and then like all the gymnasts used to win the apparatuses too.
Oh, that's kind of like one school winning every single title.
Yeah, that happened before I think Utah.
Do you think they were the last school to do it also?
I think they're probably the only school to do it.
Did you see that LSU where are we? We're on Monday. So they finished last week with all 4 of their events were in the top 5 for the country.
Who?
LSU.
Oh, that's nice. I don't really care about those type of rankings.
I think
they're going to change once they start doing the what is it called? When they take the top 6 scores, RQS, NQS now, I think it's called.
That hasn't started yet?
No. That starts like sometime in mid-February.
Why does it start then?
Because you have to have so many away scores calculated into it.
LSU was number 1 on vault and floor and number 4 on bars and beam.
Really?
I'm 90% sure that this was for the whole country, but it could have been the SEC.
We finna see right now. The number 1 vault team is LSU, followed by Kentucky.
What do you think about the NQS system? Do you think it's flawed?
It's not a bad system. I think what's flawed is the scoring. They have to get that in check.
Well, duh, but NQS, I've never heard you talk about NQS.
I mean, it gives teams, chances to, because they make NCAA such a, it's not a, the people on the floor.
I think
they'd be like, you're going against everybody in the country.
I think your record should be based on your win-loss record throughout the season, not your average qualifying score. So I think your win-loss record should be way more important than your national qualifying score. So I'll give it him if you score a 198 this season, if you lost every single matchup that you came across. I think that should be more important than what your average qualifying score is.
Yeah. I'm not going to waste the viewers' time asking you to explain it. So I'll ask you in the chat off air. or I'll do my own research. But no comment
About what?
about how the NQS is structured. 'Cause I don't know.
Yeah, it's 6 scores. You get the
Oh,
top 3.
it's real easy. Go ahead.
You get your 6 best scores. The top 3 have to be away, and then the next 3 can be either home or away, whatever's the highest. And then I think they drop the highest, and then they average those.
What does that mean? The top 3 have to be away.
The top 3 away scores, away meets.
So what if your highest score of the season was a home meet? Do you not get to count that?
Yeah. You have to.
No, it's going to get
it's
dropped.
6 scores. The highest score drops, so you calculate 5.
Okay.
Out of the 5, those 3 of them have to be away scores.
What if your top 2 scores are at home?
You can use those. Well, you can use one of them.
Okay.
You're just averaging out 6 meets, and you drop the highest. But in those averages, they have to be 3 of them away. So I don't know who come up with that.
What do you think about if they tweaked it so you don't get to count any home meets?
I mean, well, what's the point of competing at home then?
For the fans, for fun, for
the hell with that. We still are in a sport.
Yeah,
and you still have to like the SEC women's basketball.
What is this mess about not counting some of the scores? Like, why not? It's just arbitrary.
That's why I don't like the NQS scores, because your highest scores, you still could have lost that meet. Let's say let's say it was Oklahoma and Florida, right? And they both was like scored a 198 something that meet. Whoever lost still gets to count that score if it was one of their top scores in the country. And let's say that was the second best score in the country that year or whatever. That score still counts for that team, even though they lost that competition. The way I would do it is a win-loss record is I'm going to give the top teams, they're not going to all have the hardest schedules, but some schools are going to have to go against some schools and win-loss record.
That's how they do it within the SEC. To win the regular season title is based off of win-loss.
It's not the SEC champ. Oh, the regular season.
Yeah. So that's how it is based off the SEC. It's win-loss. But nationally, they do it like that. I don't know why. I don't know. Maybe if you have a bad meet or two, you don't want to count against you.
Some schools, because some schools like I don't know, Arkansas is probably going to lose most of their meets that season, so they give them a second chance with this NQS shit to qualify, which I don't like.
Ooh, they're not good enough. Cut.
It's like a point system, but I think they do that kind of like in track and field, diving. It'd be like the Olympic sports. It's not going to be like women's basketball because their seasons are longer. They have multiple games in the middle of a week, so I don't know.
This is not a charity, Arkansas.
Yeah, so like a Florida, they were ranked 7th last week, and they scored pretty well on their away meet, and they boosted up to 3. So once RQS kick in, most of these meets right now won't even count for these teams in the rankings. So that's what I'm saying. Like people,
and that's why I don't.
Yeah.
In terms of your personal priorities, how would you rank, like with criteria? How impressive is it if you win the SEC?
Or at least do both. Make it like,
girl.
I would think like after the first 3 meets, I would knock them off, and then everything else is counted.
Shayna, how important do you think it is to win or how impressive is it to win the regular SEC championship?
They just started recognizing that recently, so I don't really. It's not that important to me. It's just another. I guess if you want to, I mean, I guess it's important. I'm not gonna say it's not important because you got to think about it. A lot goes on from January to
compared to
March.
other things.
Yeah, I guess it would be important because it gives you something to fight for throughout the week. Like I'm like Michaela. That's why I don't like the RQS stuff because before there was a regular season like title, it was no need to really try to win a meet. Look at like Stanford, how they used to just be terrible up until March, and then
Arizona
here you
State, how
go.
Arizona State is always there, but never winning shit because they just have a good RQ. And also with RQS, it
Is
really
it
depends on how
RQS or NQS?
NQS. I'm so sorry,
They
NQS.
changed it to NQS, yeah.
But also with NQS, because it used to be RQS, that's why I keep saying RQS.
Mm-hmm.
With NQS, it really determines how the judges are scoring these meets, right? Because it's your actual score that's what's counting. So if the judges are giving you really high scores at UCLA, then you're going to have a higher NQS than other teams when your gymnastics is actually on par with those other teams.
Mm-hmm. And if we look, I'm on Road to Nationals right now. Last year they had 10 teams averaging a 197 on week 3. This year there's only 4. So the scoring has significantly went down. And then if you look at it,
which is a good thing in my
it was a 6/10 difference between Oklahoma and second place last year around this time. It's only a 2.5 difference between Oklahoma and LSU. So that's why I keep telling people, like, don't count out the Floridas and the LSUs. I don't think Oklahoma is just that so much far ahead of everybody that they can't be beatable, regardless of scoring, regardless of here, there, or now, because Florida and LSU have a lot more room to grow. Not saying Oklahoma doesn't, but we've pretty much seen what Oklahoma is going to put out. Florida and LSU still have to get girls healthy. They still have to get people, acclimated to lineups like Oklahoma. But I just feel like the margin of error is not so far off that Oklahoma can have a bad vault rotation. And boom, we're back at last year. They're not even making it. That's just how I feel how close LSU and Florida is to them. I don't see anyone else being over them. I don't see anyone else can win that title other than Oklahoma, LSU, or Florida.
Dang, not even Michigan State?
At all.
But what if OU has a meltdown again like last year?
Yeah. That means LSU and Florida would have to have one as well.
Yeah.
Cal doesn't. Oh, maybe when the rest of Cal's gymnasts get healthy and they're able to compete, maybe I would feel some kind of way about Cal. But I can agree, Cal doesn't.
They're not doing it this year. I don't know what.
No.
But they haven't scored a 197 yet.
You're saying no, like you don't agree, Oscar?
No, like they're not even close to being in contention.
And to tell you the truth, the rankings show that they're ranked number 7. And everybody ahead of them has shown better gymnastics to me, including Utah and Kentucky. And if it wasn't for UCLA having such a terrible first meet, they would probably trump all of them and be probably like 4th right now. So once the RQS comes out, UCLA is going to skyrocket up if they continue with this consistency that they've shown early in the season. This is the best UCLA has looked in the beginning of a season in a long time. And I give props where props is due. Now, Oregon State, people are saying that score was too high, but then I see other people in the comments saying that they look really good. So
I wanted to clarify why we were talking about Selena Harris Miranda earlier. So, because I don't think we mentioned it, just that the only thing I am aware of that she's done recently that people have been critical about is she posted on social media the top 10 rankings, and Florida was number 3, and she put like, I think just like kissing emojis, or was it? Did she actually have text also?
I think she put period or something.
It was period, kiss, kiss. Coincidence that it was only over UCLA at number 8 and Oregon State at number 9? I'll let you decide, but just so you know, everyone knows what we're talking about. UCLA being her former school, where she was allegedly dismissed from the team. Here's a question. Do either of you know who the Higgins role is named after?
I have no idea. Somebody named Higgins.
Well, yeah, but I was hoping you would know their first name.
I can look it up.
Oh, please. That would be great. Thank you. Michaela, did you see that Flavia is now, she's trying to add a switch leap into a switch half into a back handspring?
She's still training? I thought she would have retired.
No, she's still training, as is Jaje, as is Rebecca, as is, I don't know about Lorraine or Julia, but I assume they are.
Lorraine's been around for a while.
I think that she's been around just as long as the. Didn't she turn senior in 2015 also? I think they're all the same year.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's why they're so close.
Yeah.
I wish Lorraine was as talented as Flavia and Rebecca, because she seems like a really fun, personable gymnast that they really overlook because she's just not as successful as Flavia or Rebecca.
She's had a lot of injuries, I think. I didn't really understand that she had such a nice DTY back in the Rio quad before some of those injuries. It was beautiful. What do you think about, okay, I'm scared to bring this up with you. Will you promise not to be your messiest self?
Okay.
Did we all heard that Yul Moldauer is facing a suspension from...
I make no promises. I'm going to be as messy as possible.
Let's go. He is suspended.
Let's go. I make no promises. I forgot this happened.
Don't make me log off.
Please. First of all,
just say what you have to say as if Yul is watching. And we love Yul.
He does watch the show. I know Yul watch the show. So I'm finished.
Be respectful.
So Yul, I think he understands my personality. I think I understand your personality. So Yul, I hope you understand that I'm trying to make light of this situation. I don't believe any of the things I'm about to say.
Will you give some context to people who don't know what we're talking about? Please.
So if you don't know what I'm talking about, one of my favorite male gymnasts, Yul Moldauer, he has been given a 16-month suspension from the sport for failure to comply with the drug testing rules. So for those
a check-in rule, wasn't it?
Check-in. He did not.
It was a check-in.
He did not fail any drug test, or he never tested positive for anything.
I never said that. I said failure to comply with the rules.
Okay, but you said drug rule.
Yeah.
I just want to be very clear.
Okay, I'm so sorry. He missed 3 drug tests.
I think you're right. Yeah. Not a great look.
So, Yul was at the Olympics doing lines of coke, and then I'm just joking, Yul. I'm just joking.
And that's his business if he did.
Period. I'm just joking. Well, it's not your business if you did, because You miss your drugs. I'm just joking. From what really happened, though, from my understanding, is he was actually in a competition, and where he was supposed to be at to do the test, he physically could not be there because
I'm looking it up now. 3 whereabout failures within a 12-month period.
Should we start that? Let's start the hashtag free Yul.
That's messy.
Not as messy as free Gina.
Yeah, look, free Gina to this day. Free Gina to this day.
Free Yul, free Wendy, free them all.
I'm not with you on the free Wendy thing. I'm not with you on the free
Wendy.
Y'all on that by yourselves. Free Wendy from her family, and then we can free Wendy.
No, you guys got it all twisted in that conversation. Her family is innocent. They're supporting her. They're fighting for her.
Okay.
Anyway.
We can talk about it if you want to.
It seems like I do, but I don't. I'm sorry.
So with Yul, I have several different minds about this. So, like, my first mind is if he was actually in a competition and y'all could prove that he was in the competition, why wouldn't y'all accommodate his test and just test him at the competition? B, if the issue is he never told the people he was going to the competition, that's a whole different conversation. Whereas why aren't you telling the people where you're going to be at? But I know even Simone complains about them damn random drug tests and how they're very random and they could pop up at any moment in time, any time of the day, asking you to.
But they have to do that. They do that in sports, though. You know, they did it with Serena. They did it so much with Serena and them because they thought them black girls was always on something, but them girls ain't never tested for anything banned. And then you sit here and have like a Lance Armstrong who was, white America. Everybody loves the bicyclist. He's won all these Tour de France, and he was a complete fraud. They do it in football. They do it in all of that because,
Let's not forget gymnastics as a sport.
Gymnastics is very much a sport. Gymnastics is very much a sport where people cheat a lot by doping. So these doping things are kind of important. Like, I know it can seem very, very, very
example of a gymnast doping.
I believe those Russians, that the unified team used to do it back in the day.
Thank you. I ain't have to say it, but thank you.
I believe they were, because they were definitely doing it in track and field.
Something where either it was confirmed or they were actually punished for it. I can think of some, but like not a lot.
Well, their figure skating coach is so stupid that she got caught. So I believe what they were doing with the little young figure skaters, they were doing for all their younger athletes, like giving them that.
I know it's more prevalent in like I know it's more prevalent in like the winter sports, like the bobs, those people, the bobsledding people, the skiers.
Yeah, they always are getting caught up in the
I've recommended it before to Michaela, but maybe I haven't to you, Shayna. To this documentary that starts off as a documentary about cycling, and then it turns into doping in all sports. It's called Icarus. It's about Aaliyah Mustafa is mentioned in it.
Okay. Really? Doping?
Yes, and it becomes this whole second documentary within itself where they are transparent. They hire someone, a doctor, who helped the Russians dope, and he explains how they doped at the Sochi Olympics and got away with it. And they try to literally cheat the system. They try to dope this guy who's making the documentary and beat the system and not get caught.
I can believe it. People are scumbags,
But he's doing it to show that it's a flawed system. He doesn't want to win. He doesn't care about it. Yeah. I would recommend it. Make your own judgments.
Okay.
But let's talk about gymnastics. Fuck these winter sports.
I just feel like it's very important that these doping things happen. Like, I don't have any specific examples right now. I was caught off guard, but I'm sure if I do my research, I'm sure we could look up some examples of people getting caught up.
There was an Argentinian gymnast who was this individual qualifier to the Olympics, either in Tokyo or Paris. I can't remember, but she received like a multiple year ban from competing.
And I just feel like with Yul, it's hard because Yul has been America's golden boy for so long that it's hard to believe that he was doing anything. Oh, the Ukrainian guy. He just had a ban for some kind of doping thing too, right?
Oleg Vernayev. And I also thought about Diane Dos Santos.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to include Andrea Raducan because her substance she didn't know she was taking, and it's not even banned anymore.
That's sad too.
That's very sad. It's tragic.
I just don't know of a scenario or like logically, like not, why this couldn't be resolved without him having a suspension. If like
it's almost like it's confusing to me because from the outside, from when he released a statement before USADA, who does the testing, did, or USAG, like he wanted to cut them off or whatever the expression is. But he seemed very much like he was not fighting it. He was like accepting of it.
Yeah, because he probably. I mean, and if he watches your show, and we don't know true tea, but it's just like I'm sure they are really like upfront and honest. You get things in the mail, email, something when you've missed the first one. Now you've missed the second one. Now you missed the third one. So it's like you really are trying. Just because you say you have never been, emphasize you never tested positive, but were you ducking them so you wouldn't test positive? Like, come on now. We live in a world where 1 + 1 = 2, and you're gonna make me think.
And the thing is with Yul, if I'm just gonna be honest, and this is messy. Yul, I'm so sorry. I love you, friend. He did upgrade his gymnastics a lot in that Olympic cycle,
and still didn't make it. And that's not taking nothing from him.
Of cocaine and now what, steroids?
I'm not accusing him of nothing. I'll just say he did upgrade his gymnastics a lot in that last year, doing things I never even thought was possible.
Isn't it true that the older the men get, generally the better they get?
Maybe for like the Chinese people, or the Japanese, but for the Americans, they're pretty much a flash in the pan type team. Like, the American male gymnasts don't have. They always have their one John Roethlisberger or Blaine Wilson that's able to hang around for 3 cycles, but in general, they always.
Do you think Donnell Leyva was stronger as an all-arounder in 2012 or 2016? Not how they performed at the Olympics, but potential.
2012.
Okay, but then he actually won. Did he win a medal in 2012 in the all-around?
Yes.
Wow, he has 3 Olympic medals.
Yes.
Work.
He the most successful male Olympian in recent history for the Americans. And they treat that man like
Danelle.
They treat that man like he never even competed a day in gymnastics history. All the credit that Danelle Leyva should have, they give to Sam McCooley for whatever reason.
Who was just terrible when it came to an international competition. Sorry.
Not you calling things terrible, Shane.
It was terrible because he had so much.
You said someone's Ashley Miles's team, her bars was terrible. I was like,
the whole team, throw the whole team away. And that's how I felt about Sam McCulloch. He did so great, won 1,000,001 national titles, and then get to a World or Olympic and can't do shit.
Brody Malone.
Lee Brody could win a high bar medal.
True.
Michaela has selective memory about Brody Malone. She does not acknowledge that he's a world champion on high
bar. But we could say the same about whatchamacallit as well. Blaine Wilson. Where's his world and Olympic medals?
Never to be found.
John Roethlisberger.
Even less so.
So, I'm with you, Michaela. Danelle. I'm with you. I'm just saying, I'm with you with Danelle. And I don't know if it has to do with he just didn't conform to USA Gym, or if he just was an odd man out and wanted to do what the fuck he wanted to do, or if he came out and lived his truth and didn't give a fuck. It could be multiple things.
Oh, that's a long conversation that I feel like we've already had. I don't want to minimize that conversation.
Danelle likes the girls.
What?
Isn't that what it is?
I'm saying it's a lot of things.
It is. I don't know what it is with Danelle Leyva, why USA men's gymnastics act like he never existed and wasn't the most successful gymnast that they had in a very long time.
I'm sure part of it is that he basically has a horrible, as far as I know, he doesn't have a relationship with his coach anymore, who was his father, right? Stepfather.
That's a difference.
It's a difference, but you could still call him your father.
It's not blood.
It's not. No one's saying it is.
And you don't know if he was forced to do those things.
To do what things?
To go into gymnastics.
He's spoken out that he was.
See, I don't know all the story. Because like I say, I don't
want to minimize it by giving this 2 minutes of attention. This is a big conversation.
Because I love Danelle. I always loved him. I always loved his gymnastics. I always thought he was decent looking.
You liked his vault?
Which one did he do? I'm trying to remember. I only remember I loved how he did floor. I loved how he did parallel bars, and I loved how he did high bar. Those are the three that I can only kind of remember with him. I don't remember his vault and parallel bars.
I think he was doing the Armonar. Then come 2016, he watered it down to the Chinko double.
I thought he was doing literally a souk double.
Oh, see, I remember him doing an Armonar, but it could be
I thought whatchamacallit was doing. He was doing a triple at one time. What was the one from Britain? The other Sam, what's his name? Whitlock?
Max Whitlock?
Yeah, Max, him. Yeah. I remember him doing a triple.
Well, Max Whitlock is an Olympic medalist in the all-around.
Yeah.
As well. Sorry. Not me disrespecting.
And then it just seems like basically the American men never took the program seriously up until 3-4 years ago, if you ask me. They did. They went on a hunch and won in 2004 and 2008. But those were two completely different teams. But really, before and after that, it was when was the last time the American men won a medal?
2008.
Before that.
Oh.
It was 2004. They won the silver in 04 and the bronze in 8. But before that, did they win what? Bar Connor, when he was there, that's ancient. That was before I was even born. You know?
I know.
And then 2 decades later, so hopefully they get it right, because the American men, they have the potential, but they got to get some pommel horse workers. They will never be able to be in contention for gold until they can get some pommel horse workers and a little bit some more difficult vaults.
Shayna, you realize? No, we're not done. Shayna, you realize the difference between the 04 Olympics and the 84 Olympics? It's the same distance in time between the 08 Olympics and the 04 Olympics. And this Olympics,
yeah. Yeah, you see that, huh?
Are we talking about Paul's drugs suspension or testing suspension?
Oh, I feel like he was ducking them people. I don't know the full story, but I feel like he was ducking them. It's no way. But hey, they let a fucking, excuse my French, when I get mad, I get mad. They let a damn rapist rape these people for all these years. So hey, what do I know? And what other gymnasts are missing out on weigh-ins, check-ins, whereabouts, drug testing, all of that kind of stuff? Is it just you?
Yeah, it's. I don't know. I don't want.
I start to question things like that. And he's not new into the program, the system.
And he got plenty of time to try for 2028.
Yeah,
it's just very strange.
He's been on the team for so long, and then how all of a sudden now, when the Olympics were this past year, like, were you missing out? That might could have affected you, possibly being on the team, because I know he was in contention. You just have to question things when things come out. I don't always think it's always like some shady shit going on, but it really be some shady shit going on. Stuff don't always be just black and white. It is what it is. How you missed 3 goddamn check-ins? I'm like, Michaela, you was on a binge somewhere. I just feel like that. He's too experienced. He's too seasoned. I could see if it was a first, second year national team member. Yul is a 2020 Olympian. Was he an alternate this past year? And he was on the national team before that 2020 Olympics. So it's like, come on now.
Hey, did he put in any statements of why he missed the test or his excuses? I haven't seen any of that.
I think he said the first 2 he missed because of competitions, but I think he said that earlier. And the third one, he did say the third one, he admitted he was, well, first, before I get to that, if anyone wants to read Yul's statement in his own words, check it out on his social media's account, Yul Moldauer.
Somebody else wrote that for him, but go ahead.
Really? I don't think so. Anyway. I think that he said his third one, he was further away than where he said he was going to be. Not that he knew that it's not clear that he knew there was going to be a drug test, but maybe they just need to know your whereabouts in general in case one. So it's not clear about that, but he was further away than he said he was. And they were like, okay, drug test. And he was like, okay, I'm further away than I said I was. I'm getting in the car now. It's 45 minutes. The official was like, I only have 15 minutes. Sorry, you fail.
Okay, question. Since you seem to know a lot about Yul, what is his preference? Because I don't know him. Does he date women? Does he date men? Is he in a committed relationship?
I don't know. And that's not my business.
Second of all, how do you miss these type of check-ins the first 2 times because of a competition. Wouldn't they know that? That's why I say I don't put 2 and 2 together. How are you penalized for something that they should already know? Why don't they just come test you there? I'm telling you, it just be more to the story for things. And maybe the 3rd time, yeah, he missed it, whoop-de-whoop, whatever. But you still had 2 other times before that. And if you citing that, you was at a competition, whoop-de-whoop, I don't buy it. I'm sorry. You were evading them people.
Yeah, I'm not buying it either, but I'm like, moving on.
I'm sorry. I've been on this earth 39 years. I know shit from sugar. And you can't tell me that you don't know how to check in and when them people want your ass. And you gonna holler about the first 2 times you missed it because of a competition. What about the other people? Did they miss it because of the same competition they was at too? Come on now, you. Go find somebody to play with. You was either drugging and thugging, or you was with somebody's husband or wife, whichever one you like. Period, point blank.
Mess. I didn't know Shayna would bring the mess. Michaela, you were really respectful.
Because Shayna don't like foolishness. And that's a bunch of foolishness.
And that's why we have multiple co-hosts, so I don't have to be the messy one all the time. Sometimes it's just best to shut up and let other people.
Come on, y'all. That just don't make no sense to me.
I love you, Yule, but Yule, it's not making sense. And, it don't have to make sense for us. Sometimes it's just best to say nothing at all. Sometimes
it don't.
Accept your punishment.
But you're writing statements. You're writing statements about things, so we're going to have an opinion about them.
Is this one gymnast who was accused of a lot of things, but she said nothing about it at all. And I was so upset. I'm like, why won't you speak about it? But now in hindsight, I realized if she would have spoke about it, there's no way for her to win. So just don't say anything.
Some things, when I was talking about the Jordan stuff, some things are better left unsaid. You don't try to have face value now that your ass got caught.
Michaela, you don't want to tell us who you're talking about?
It was a very popular Florida gymnast who got kicked off the team for a mysterious reason.
What was the year?
What? How do I know it and you don't, Shayna? It's recent. Not in the 90s, not in the 2000s.
The team
not even in the 2010s.
They end up going to another team and competing for that other team for one season, which was last
from Florida? Nia Reed?
I'm not answering or saying anything.
So messy tonight.
But she took a break, didn't she? Or she was kicked off.
Oh, you just don't know this story. Okay.
No, I don't know the story. What happened? I just know. I thought she
off air.
Yeah, I would tell it to you off air. I can't. It's not stuff I can say on. But, and I'm not even acknowledging that it was Nia Reeves, or if it wasn't Nia Reeves, I'm just saying it was a very successful.
No, when I just said she got 1 year and went to another school, I had to think back of who left Florida for 1 year and went to somewhere else.
Okay. I don't know if she was accused of something. Yeah, how the hell can I say?
Let's not talk about it.
Correct. I would tell you off air.
Please.
Okay.
They got more tea than everything, and then everybody want to come at LSU like they got this and they got that and they got this, and these people kicked off teams at this school and that school, and that's too much for me. I did started reading the big ass memoir from one of them girls. What was her name? I can't think of it, for Florida, and she did not have great things to say about Jenny Rowland.
Oh, which one?
She did some of the. I gotta look it up, y'all. She did some of the. She competed floor. Was her name Grace something? What was that baby name?
Michaela, how much more time do you have before you need to get ready for work?
We could be on for about another 45 minutes. Let's try to end the show about 8
We're
o'clock.
gonna do 2016, and maybe she pops up.
I might need to leave a bit earlier than that.
Grace McLaughlin from Wolga.
Really?
Yeah.
She did not have great things to say.
What do you remember what she said?
I have no idea, but I can find that out as well.
You said that you're reading her memoir?
You know, she had a memoir. When y'all brought up this situation with Florida, I was like, it was somebody else had an issue at Florida. Just like how Bailey Ferrer had issues with Dee Bro at LSU, you know. People don't be wanting stuff to get out.
Well, I believe that every single coach, someone has an issue with them.
Because they were saying Bailey was supposed to transfer to Auburn, and they were saying that this side was saying that the Auburn doctors didn't okay her to come, but then they were saying LSU people were stopping her to come. I don't know what the truth was. Her personal blog for Grace McLaughlin was called Finding the Real Me, Emotional and Physical Abuse, Emotional and Psychological Abuse, as well as withdrawal and reinstatement of her athletic scholarship.
Okay.
Wow,
I didn't know this.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys, not to rush things, but you know, a bitch got to go to work tonight. So, I know me and Shayna really talked about things that happened after Friday night because most of the best gymnastics happened Friday night. The only thing that happened Saturday night was LSU. I mean UCLA. I'm so sorry. I don't know why I keep saying LSU. UCLA competed Saturday.
How did they look to you, Michaela? I only saw the first 2 rotations.
Okay, I wish Ezra was on so I could not yell at him, but debate him about this a bit deeper. But I just don't see it for UCLA. Like UCLA look like they always look like they have good routines with Jordan. They have a good floor rotation like always, but vault, it looks bad. Jordan really needs to lay that vault out or do a different vault because
they didn't count a fall though, right?
They scored a 197.55.
That's good.
That is good.
They're gonna always, the thing with UCLA is they're gonna always be strong on floor. But they look like they did great on beam. This just speaking about this past meet.
And that's interesting because
they scored a 49.55 on beam.
The week prior, they were amazing on beam. Yeah. I haven't seen them this week.
They're good on beam.
Beam and floor are their best 2 events, but vault and bars are.
I think I don't see them a top 4. But I do see them a possibility of making nationals. And I say that because they have a leader in Jordan that they were missing last year. Shay Campbell looks to be in really good shape.
Sometimes Shay's very hit or miss to me. I'm so sorry.
But Brooklyn brings so much to the team. And I think this is really the healthiest when she's healthy. I think this is the healthiest she has been her entire time there. And then you just got to add the other pieces to it. You know, you got a couple good freshmen who got to get adjusted. And you just have Emily Lee, Caitlin Rosen. You know, those are, setup girls. So sorry.
Brooklyn gives to me what all the UCLA girls give to me, other than Jordan, is I'm giving you a great floor. I give you a great beam. Ball is okay, but I can't do bars.
She said that she wants to do all 4 pieces because it's her last season.
And they're scoring mid to high 197s on the road. So
Do you
until
expect UCLA to win their conference?
No.
They gotta go. Once I see them head to head with Michigan State, then those are the two.
No.
Those are the two. But then I'm watching Michigan State and I'm so high on them, but their vaults look kind of wonky to me as well.
Who is the biggest?
Michigan State.
What is their conference and who's their biggest competition?
Michigan State, they're in the Big 12 with Michigan State, Michigan, Ohio State, who I like. I like Ohio State. Iowa has a great freshman with Tran.
That's Iowa. So does Ashley Miles coach Iowa State?
She's at Iowa State. They're Big
12.
12.
Looks really good. They have multiple Olympians.
Yeah.
Okay.
Minnesota in that conference?
I'm sorry, what you said?
Who?
Is Minnesota in the conference with
They are too.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yes.
They have a Canadian.
Yeah, they really did a good job with rearranging the Pac-10.
Yeah.
They made a really strong conference over there. They made the second strongest conference behind the SEC.
Mm-hmm. And then they're trying to get the ACC to come up, but Cal and Stanford is going to be way ahead of everyone else in that conference.
They need to put Oregon State in the ACC, and they need to put a team like I don't know, make it spicy.
I don't even know what you're gonna say, so I can't help. In the what?
The ACC, because you have North Carolina, NC State, Clemson, and who? Pittsburgh.
I think Georgia would do good in the ACC. I'm so sorry. I know they're been an SEC staple, but Georgia would fit right in that conference.
Or Kentucky.
Was Georgia compete on Friday or Saturday this week?
See, I don't know what's happening this coming up, but once I get off and get situated, I will definitely be watching this Arkansas 197 that they just scored.
Shayna, I was asking about this past weekend. Which day did Georgia compete?
They competed Friday.
Oh, okay. Did you watch that?
I watched the first 3 episodes. They're good on Beam. They're decent on bars. They're missing their best bar worker. I don't know why she's not competing on those. So it's giving me she has some type of injury to her hand or elbow.
Lily Smith?
Yeah. She hasn't competed bars this season.
Oh no. Well, they should prioritize her. So if they need to save her, do what they need to do.
Right, correct. I'm all for that. So that she'll make them better because whatchamacallit is good as well. Jeffrey.
Why'd you turn it off? Why didn't you finish it?
Who?
Shayna said she watched the first 3 episodes, but not the 4th rotation.
For Georgia, because I had went back because on Fridays when all those meets are on, once LSU is on, that's all I'm watching. So once they get cut off, Georgia was first, and then LSU started. So I had to go back.
Shane said, "Bitch, once LSU was on,
it's no one else. I don't think nothing else."
We know. I know.
So then I have to go back and watch meets, and I just haven't went back to watch that last rotation yet for them.
When I say Ava Stewart, do either of you know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, she's the Olympian that's on Minnesota's team from Canada.
Nice. Okay.
Minnesota is my other team because of Maya Hooten. So yes, I know. I like
Maya.
What do you think?
Ava has a beautiful retriever one.
What do you think about Minnesota? The Minnesota women's team getting a new gym and like rubbing it in the faces of the men's program that got cut.
That's wonderful. It's not their fault.
But they were like
they really have
they were being sensitive.
a program.
Sorry.
What's that coach name?
Okay. Let me defend them for a second, since Oscar, you wanted to think of it. Dirty gymnastics is the only sport where the women are stronger programmed than everything else. So, in these college programs, the girls are so used to everything going to the men that yes, it was probably insensitive. Yes, it probably was rude, but you got to understand they're so used to everything going to the men that for them this was a win over the male sex when everything always goes to them.
So how did they rub it in their face though? What did they do?
I think it was about the caption that they wrote, and they were like, thank you so much to these like funders. They care so much about Minnesota gymnastics or something, when it was a lack of funding that led to the men's program being cut.
So was that geared towards the men, or was that geared towards the administration that actually ended them?
I would have to find I see what you're saying. I would have to find the caption. I don't have it right now, but I remember the way I read it. I thought it was insensitive.
Because I don't know if they particularly do it, but a lot of those schools don't have separate gyms for men and women. So, like Oklahoma, the men used to practice in the same gym. And I'm pretty sure that was probably like that in Minnesota.
And this is why I don't understand why there isn't more men programs. And maybe this is the men, because, right, if they have a gym, right, they could put all the events in that one gymnastics place, right? Mm-hmm. It's big enough to hold all the events, right? So I don't understand why the men just can't train in the same gym as the women.
I don't know either, but that's like me. Even ever since I started watching gymnastics, men's gymnastics has just never been. It was just always like that, outside cousin that just was around. It never was like, oh my God, I want to go turn on and watch some men's gymnastics. It never has been like that. It has never been like that for me. When you think of it in a college context, how these people get fans out are mostly young girls.
And this is the first season, Shayna, that I've actually been interested in the men at all. And I cannot find not one routine. Now, I mean, I can find the individual routines, but not one whole competition, so I can understand what the fuck is going on. Because nobody posts them, not even like the sites that normally post men's gymnastics, they don't even post them shit. So like it's hard, because it's like, I don't want these colleges to cut the programs, but why should they have the damn programs? Like,
especially if it's costing more. We're getting we have these between 6 to 12 people on scholarship, but we only have 100 people watching y'all. We're not making no revenue from y'all. We have to spend money for y'all travel, for your gear. Like, you got to have a product that people are going to see. And most of the time for gymnastics, you don't have a lot of little boys going watch male gymnastics. You have a lot of girls and families going to watch the women. Plus the men's is too many events. It's longer in time.
Also, some of the events just have nothing to do with. They're totally unrelated to the other events. The pommel horse should be its own sport.
I 1000% agree.
That was not an original idea. Sorry, I totally stole that from you, but it just came to my mind. Credit where credit is due.
Pommel horse is just not. It's like the rope for rhythmic gymnastics. It's just its own separate thing.
Yeah.
It's not.
Well, then now we'll leave it to 5.
Like Steven
events.
Like Steven Narajic, I don't think he can do a double back. And to me, that's like an easy men's gymnastics skill that most men's gymnasts can do, is a double back.
Yeah, common skill for a level.
I don't think he can do that. I think he can just swing pommel horse. Just like how most rhythm gymnasts can't do flips. They can just, do their rope turns and stuff, which is hard. But it's just a different skill set than gymnast.
Then I feel like that. I kind of feel like that with rings as well. You, of course, have to have a dismount, so you have to do some type of variation of a flip. But it's just like drop it down to 4 floor, a vault, a high bar, and a parallel bar. And that's kind of cutting it out because it's like it's still a variation of a bar. So it's like, I've never been into wanting to go watch a pommel horse final or a ring final. It's just those are events I would not want to see. I want to see, like you say, Michaela, I want to see some flips and flips and tricks and stuff. I don't want to see a motherfucker twirling around on a damn pommel horse. I'm sorry. It's just not appealing for me to watch.
The only reason why I
so much better than pommel horse. I'm sorry.
Rings is, but at least with rings,
I don't care.
Okay, rings could be their only two. I agree with you, but at least with rings, there still is some aesthetics of the other events. Like they still have to do double layouts.
Yeah, dismount, part of dismount.
Maybe you didn't hear me right. I said rings is so much better than pommel.
I still think that.
No, we heard that.
If you want to take it away, that should be like a strongman competition. All the best ring people can do the hardest stuff.
I can see that too.
Yeah, like that. That doesn't give me gymnasts.
30 minutes left of the show, and I want to get to the best part. Let's do our SEC rankings. Because
wait, can I say 2 quick things before we do it? But finish the thought, please.
My thought is finished. Go ahead.
You were gonna. I have interrupted you mid-sentence. You said, "I feel like what?" Oh, I feel so bad. You lost the thought. I'm really sorry. I'm such a dick. I just wanted to say 2 things really quick. I wanted to say that there's an elite competition to look forward to on February 20th through February 23rd, which is the Cottbus World Cup. And China is sending the Olympic silver medalist on balance beam, Zhou Yatsin, to do beam and floor. Zhang Yihan, who was also on the Olympic team, who made the bars event final, to do bars and floor. She's probably going to try to get her eponymous skill named after her again, which she did last year at Cottbus, which was the clear hip laid out to Tkachev. Then they're also sending Zhang Kexin, who's a new senior, to do bars and beam, and Yang Fan Yue, who's an excellent bar worker, just to do bars. And then the other thing was Ilya Kovtun from Ukraine is now officially he's switched. He's now he's representing Croatia.
Mm-hmm.
Even though he won a medal.
Oh, wow, that is.
He's a very successful gymnast for Ukraine. He's won multiple world medals, including all-around medals at Worlds, but he won a bronze or silver medal, I think, at the Olympics on high bar. So now he's very dissatisfied with the Ukrainian federation, but he also has a very, very, very controversial female coach.
Yeah. And they're probably not putting money in towards the program, given based off what they've been going through with Russia. So I can see that. And props to him, especially if he wants to continue in gymnastics. Go where you want it. And I hope that coach don't follow his ass.
No, the coach is 100% going with him, and I'm sure that they're influencing him in making this decision, unfortunately. A lot of people think that she's abusive towards him.
And she's been a coach since he was a teen, right?
Yes, and he's had many, many injuries, which people think were preventable, and she's made him train through injuries. He even got, her name tattooed on him or something.
Oh, Lord. That's kind of weird for a coach, huh? I hope she has, because I can believe women can groom a young boy.
100%. I think it's inappropriate, but I don't know all the details of the situation. That's what I needed to say. Thank you so much.
Are you going to stream the World Cups?
I don't have any plans to, but there was a World Cup last season. I think it was Doha, where I ended up just editing together a compilation of my favorite routines and the results. So maybe I'll do something like that if I feel inspired, but not the whole thing.
See, this, y'all, is the reason why I love NCAA, because it's so easily acceptable. I would not know where to go to pick teeth to try to find this elite meat. Plus, they don't happen far in between, so it's not like you can pay for a subscription. So I was basically paying probably something astronomically high just to watch this one meet. So you really have to be like on social media looking for this stuff because it's
For
not
the elite or NCAA?
For elite.
Oh yeah, but it will be posted for certain.
The meet will be posted.
Yeah, maybe not live, but definitely, unless someone like Addicts streams it.
Yeah, I'm sure Addicts will stream it.
Let's please do the ranking. Thank you so much for your patience, Michaela.
Okay. Who wanted to go first? I think you should go first, Oscar.
Okay, in last place, I would put Arkansas.
Okay. Finally. Shayna.
Oh, it's the same for me, Arkansas.
Yeah, me too. Go ahead. Next.
Right on top of them is Georgia.
No debates. I'm sure Oscar's going to be very controversial about who he picks at number 8. But go ahead.
It's just like made up.
Let me see who I put.
I don't watch anything this week.
I'm trying to remember what I put in the group chat that we did.
Yeah, you all had strong opinions.
And I'm trying to see if I'm going to deviate from them or not.
Will you? What if we put Auburn at number 8?
No, indeed.
No,
I don't see that.
If that's how you want to go,
that's your choice, but I don't believe it.
Up, I have nothing to go off of. I think Helen Hu is what's preventing Missouri from being 8. They can't be number 8 with Helen Hu. Georgia can't be number 8 either. They can't.
Yes, they can.
You have to put somebody at number 8, Oscar. Put somebody at 8.
Definitely Auburn then. Auburn.
I mean, it's very close. So it's not a right or wrong. It's based off of your opinion because Auburn is the lowest ranked team.
Why have I not seen one routine posted? Like, no one is posting Auburn's routines. And I think there's a reason for that.
Because you're not following them.
But I see all the other teams.
Their meet literally was on TV.
But do you know what I'm saying? The only Auburn routine I've seen this whole season, because I haven't watched any of their meets, was Michaela saying Caitlin Jong's bars were the best of the first week or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So number 7 would be...
I can't find. We posted so much in here, but I can't look and see. I would put Auburn as number 7.
That's me too.
Okay.
And then this is where the controversy is going to lie.
Yeah, he never posted. He never said his number 7. Shouldn't hold on.
Thank you. Top 3.
We're still on 7.
I know. I'm trying to remember.
You know who the top 3 is.
The rest of the teams in no order are: we have Alabama, Missouri, Kentucky, Georgia, LSU, Florida. That's 6. Am I forgetting one?
We already got Georgia and Arkansas underneath them. So and then Auburn. So Georgia's 9.
Georgia yet.
I thought you put Georgia 9.
No, that's Arkansas.
I mean Arkansas. Okay.
He put Arkansas. Everybody put Arkansas in 9. Me, you have Georgia in 8. He has Auburn in 8. We have Auburn in 7th. We're waiting on his number 7.
Georgia, Mizzou, LSU, Florida, Bama, and OU. Okay, it's gotta be Mizzou.
Okay, Mizzou is near number 7. All right. What's your number 6 then?
Did you both do 7 already?
Yeah, we did Auburn.
Yes, we said Auburn. That's number 7.
Okay, number 6 would be Georgia.
Okay. Number 6 to me would be Alabama. I think Missouri is better than them.
Number 6 to me would be Kentucky.
Oh, I totally forgot Kentucky. But I think Kentucky deserves to be number 5.
I think Kentucky is number 4.
Well, what's your number 5? We're at 5.
Missouri.
Okay.
Who's your number 5?
So confusing. Arkansas is 9. Auburn's 8. Missouri is 7. Georgia is 6. Then it must be
Alabama or Kentucky.
I've watched more Kentucky than I've watched Alabama. But Alabama has more stars. Did Delaney Rodriguez improve in the
She
later?
won the all-around.
Okay. Bama is number 5. That's all I needed.
Kentucky is ranked 6th in the country. They are the number 4 SEC team in my book.
We're at number 4 already?
Yeah. If you've done number 5, I don't
For me, number 4 is Missouri.
You got Missouri high.
I love Missouri.
They look good. They do.
I really have. I hope.
I think between them and Kentucky, they're going to be fighting for that 4th spot in that second session.
I do too. Even though Kentucky is my team this season, I like Missouri more than them.
And it was so good to see Amari Celestine get up there and do that, compete that beam routine after she looked like she did something to her ankles on that floor routine. I was so happy to see that. Jocelyn Moore, I could have seen, got a 10 earlier in that meet.
It should have been a 10. They should have got 2 10s. That Helen Who should have got a 10, and Jocelyn should have got a 10.
I didn't see a 10 from Oklahoma that night. I'm sorry. I will never see Audra Davis with a 10 with that dismount. I'm sorry. And I love her.
I don't think there's any of it.
And even though Kentucky did beat Alabama, no, I have Kentucky ahead of Alabama.
Yeah.
So yeah, my Alabama's like this.
I'm not
Kentucky's
high on
high.
Alabama. I'm just not.
Kentucky is
I'm not really high on them either. I'm just, they're like OU to me. They can't be denied. They're up there.
And just wait, they might even improve when they get Jameson in the lineup on floor.
They definitely need some help on floor. Shania Adams just, I don't understand what be going through her mind, because you're a 5th year, you following a freshman who fell, and then you come up there and fall. They weren't going to win the meet anyway, but even if they didn't fall, because their floor was so bad, it's just, I don't see it for Alabama this year. I don't. Just like I don't see it for Utah.
So I think we all have the top 3 as the top 3 still. Is there any Florida, LSU, Oklahoma?
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think? Because we never went back, Michaela, after you watched the meets. Was LSU the winner? Was Florida the winner?
LSU in Florida was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be.
And then you have to relate it.
I would say LSU.
You have to relate it.
I would say LSU
to what Oklahoma did as well. Since we're doing a full ranking, Oklahoma scored 2 tenths higher, and LSU and Florida both had mistakes. So that's why you be seeing how I be saying LSU and Florida like right there with them.
I also think LSU was kind of overscored that meet, but Florida also got some gifts too. But see, the Aaliyah Finnegan gifts was like egregious. Like Aaliyah Finnegan,
she basically was overscored on every routine except vault. And then you take into account what about any of the other gymnasts? Some of those beam routines might have been a little overcooked. Some of those floor routines might have been overcooked for LSU. But then some of the vaults were a little high for Florida to me. And based off, if you really want to be picky, some of their bars were a little too high, even though they didn't do well on bars. So I don't know. You just kind of like look at what's on the floor and the product. And if the judges aren't deducting like they're supposed to based off of the rules, then we're in a big problem. And I think that's what's been a big issue with the NCAA is people not deducting for issues. I'm not talking about form issues. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about actual deduction for mistakes. There's no way Aaliyah Finnegan should have got a 995 on floor with an obviously lack of control step back on a punch front.
I hate to interrupt and I hate to leave abruptly, but I have to leave. I'm sorry. Love you guys. Have a good night. It was fun talking to you, and I hope the snow is not too difficult.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
You be safe, Oscar.
Bye. Take care.
Bye. Did you see what Ezra put in the chat? If regionals were today, this is how it would look. Girl, this would be awesome. Yeah. When you get time to look at it, he just posted it at 6:32. If regionals were today, the Alabama regional would have LSU, Cal, Alabama, and Stanford in it. The Washington regional would have Oklahoma, UCLA, Oregon State, and Michigan. The Utah regional would have Michigan State, Utah, Auburn, and Georgia. So that's why I say I don't really see it for Utah when if you're going to Michigan State, y'all, with an Auburn or Georgia, who is scoring just about the same as them. It's gonna be crazy, Michaela. Just get ready. It's gonna get crazy. So, Oscar, me and you are kind of more on the same level with our SEC rankings. But I still the top three are the top three, and I think Kentucky is slowly moving into.
Yeah, I do too. And it's just, I find it's so funny how it was so big on Arkansas at the beginning of the season. Now they're like,
yes. But they just scored a 197. So I'm going to watch that later on once I get situated. And
Nisha, the update on Neff is that she had very severe sprain in both her ankles, but they're not broken. So hopefully she'll have a little surgery done.
Right, Nisha. And then if you look at the bars for Florida, like they really shouldn't even score a 49 if you ask me. They were wonky. The transitions were off. They just did, and then when I look back like at Aaliyah Finnegan's 9.825 on bars, she missed her.
But come on,
she missed her hand. But Mama still gave you straight legs and pointed toes. Like, so How much is that of a deduction? How much do you take for that on top of the step of the dismount? You know?
Wasn't Aaliyah Finnegan doing an Arabian double and she added this
Yeah,
full
she
in this
needed
year?
it because she was terrible on the Arabian double. She could not land it.
She's landing this full in worse though, isn't she?
No, it's better. She used to fall on the double Arabian. But I think they need to move her up. Once Haley Bryant gets in that bars lineup, I think they need to move Aaliyah up. She should not be fifth. I think Ashley Cowan or Alexis Jeffrey need to be pushed back. Aaliyah needs to go like second because that is her problem event, and I think she gets in her head with it, and I think she needs to go sooner in that lineup once Haley come back. And yeah, I just feel like Florida and LSU are a lot closer to Oklahoma than people want to really believe. I don't see Oklahoma just running away with it based off what I've seen from them. And they're doing great gymnastics now. But like you say, it's a long season. And you got to get these other girls and these other teams. You're doing it. Why I say that? Because you look at the rankings and you look at the scoring. Oklahoma is averaging like a 197.7. LSU is averaging a 197.5. And Haley Bryant just came back on floor last week. Granted, it's just the third weekend of the season. Wait till you start getting Haley Bryant with 10s on vault and just elevating those scores for them. They're going to be right there with them. You take some of the other scores like Lexi Zeiss and Olivia Dunn, who don't need to be nowhere in those lineups out. They're going to be right there with Oklahoma. Florida is a bar rotation probably from scoring on 198 this past meet, how they were judging it. So I just don't see Oklahoma. Yes, they're good. We missing KJ on her floor. Yes.
So,
yes,
Addis has the Arkansas Denver meetup on his Twitter account right now. So that's up for everybody. And I think the Best of Utah meet is going to start in a few minutes. So
you want to watch it?
Well, I'm going to get ready for work, and then I'm going to watch it when I go to work. I have to work the night shift tonight.
Well, I'll be up because I have schoolwork and stuff to do. So send me a text and we can rah-rah about some teas.
Okay. Yeah. With that being said, you guys, I think we're going to end the show for tonight. This was fun. Like always, this was always fun. We talk about a lot of stuff. Even I love rewatching because even I forget what the hell we be talking about. And I be like, yeah, we talking about all of this.
Be all over the place, like, but it's good. It's great. You know, you have your bullet points.
I can't even lie. I really like this season, what we've done so far. I really enjoyed this. Like, I can rewatch the show myself and re-listen to it all the time. So it's been really fun. It's been really entertaining. I love each and every one of you guys. We will be back. Today is Monday. Hopefully, if the world don't end by Thursday, we'll be back with a preview of this weekend.
Yeah, because I was supposed to start my new job today, but because it was a holiday, they pushed it to tomorrow. But because we're supposed to have a winter storm, they closed a lot of things down for tomorrow and possibly Wednesday. So I may not be starting my new job until Thursday. So hopefully I will be able to enjoy the show because I still have to work overnights at my current job until my 2-week notice run out, which won't be until the 28th. So
we will make it work. As Oscar said, we're starting to come up to Elite Season 2, so I have to integrate that into the show. But that's not for like another month, so we got time.
Yeah, because I gotta get into it because I'm going to nationals this year. USA Nationals. So I kind of want to get adept with at least the American elites.
Yes. And with that being said, you guys, we'll see you all next time. Everybody be safe in this winter weather. Especially us in the South who's not used to it. Just take your time, carry your patience, bundle up.
Don't go nowhere.
You gotta wear
shit. Stay off the road.
If you don't got to go nowhere, don't go nowhere. And
all right, Nisha.
Whatever, we care about elite very much around here.
But just be safe, my South people, my Floridians, my Alabamians, my Mississippians.
If you have a faucet somewhere in your house, let one of your sinks drip so your plumbing don't freeze up.
Get all your pets and plants and make sure they're good.
Correct.
And we will pass through.
And it'll pass through. And we will pass through because we are about to go. Happy MLK, you guys. See you guys later on.
Ciao.
Peace out. And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of